My name is Franz, and this is my presentation for my final project for the Advanced Database Management class. My subject is converting Formula One dataset into structured SQL data. I'm a fan of Formula One, which is a motorsport racing competition. So it's basically car races in a different country in a year. And my objective is to provide that integrity, like a solid schema structure, and low complex queries and performance tuning. This is the dataset I found. Here I have all the data I need, circuits, drivers, results. Um, this is in CSV format, and I'm gonna uh, put it into SQL structure. Um, so since I'm running Mac OS, I didn't find a way to run Oracle directly, so I had to create a run it as a container. So here's how I'm doing, using their official image, mapping the ports, using the password, and setting up the volumes. Then what I did was, since it was like a brand new SQL server, I had to do some security configuration. So basically I created my table space, created my application user, and gave permissions. I learned a lot here about table spaces and schemas. Then I started creating the tables, and my objective here was adding basically constraints like primary key, integrity, adding nice fields to have like created date, also adding checks like don't have negative numbers or having some unique columns. So I did this. Then what I did was insert the data. First I tried to create my own script to do this using Node, uh, but then I realized I have the import data tool from SQL, and that's what I use. So basically I just did this, then select the columns, then do the mapping, and this worked perfect. I did this for all the tables. This is what they all have data. This is how my database looks like. Then I did some sample queries to play around and see uh, what information I could use, and or like for me is relevant. And according to this I did some performance tuning, which is where I created indexes on columns that I think they will be used the most, like on races secret ID, on driver standings race ID, driver ID, driver code, which is like I think that one of the most used columns. Also on results is one of the like the biggest tables, just add race ID, driver ID, and yeah. I also created partitions for races in the years which I think people will look for more information for, and I just checked that these are being used. And for example, you can see here, if I click explain plan, I can see using my partitions. Yeah, races between 2015 and 2025, driver standings. Then it's using my index for race ID in driver standings. Then it's using, I think this is position, if I'm not wrong. But I see that indexes are actually being used and they are useful. Also here, if we can see who won this race, if you look at the explain plan, we can see we're using an index for the year, which is, I think it's going to be one of the most used ones, an index for the driver code, which is one of the most used columns. And this is like my performance tuning, just doing indexes and on the columns that I think I will use the most, and partitions. Um, and this is my relational diagram. You can see the database was created correctly, adding the correct foreign keys, and that's what the diagram looks correctly with all the relationships. And yeah, I think that's it. And this is my portfolio project. I think my objective is clear. It's just providing this, moving this CSV data into like structured SQL data. Um, my goal is to provide this information also to the community so they can use it and they can just run queries and play around. I created my repository for this, and yeah, this is my database project. And this I'll use this as a portfolio, and yeah, that's it. Thank you. Um, that's my project.